Okay, welcome to a very special episode of Disclosure Now. Um, I'm gonna mute your mic when you're not talking because there's all sorts of weird noises. Um, this is my good friend Eddy Meade. I grew up with Eddy Meade in Appleton, Wisconsin, hanging out with the same circles of people as Eddy, and Eddy is remembering being in these programs and figuring out that they're an asset. So welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. Is there any way you could maybe turn off your fan because it's like just blowing right at the blowing right
Yeah,
into your
well,
microphone?
give me one moment here.
So I'm gonna tell you something about your experience that you probably don't remember. You were not brought in at the same time as me, and I'm just gonna say it. And Lindsay and the others, you were brought in later. I don't know why. But I remember when I was there, when I was a child, like 6, 7 at Montauk, Al Bielik would throw me in the chair and make me open portals. When you got there, I was throwing you in the chair and making you open portals. Um, so
It's a common thing.
you've opened portals to other realities and time portals, and I have to apologize for the fact that I remember torturing you. I remember abusing you. I remember you being kept in a dog cage. Um, and it's the hazing, the ritual hazing that we all went through at Montauk. Um, it was a very fucked up place. Um, what what triggered you? What made you want to reach out to me? I guess would be the first question I have for you.
Um, over the past year or two, um, things have gotten overwhelmingly real to me, and I have um, done a lot of work programming, unprogramming, reprogramming myself, um, using techniques, dissociative techniques, using a lot of different techniques that come really out of the monarch and drug and trauma based mind control thing,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of trying to use them to break through break through to what they did. um I'm gonna have a hard time explaining myself. I'm gonna have a hard time um knowing what to say and what not to say. um
You can tread as lightly as you want. This isn't easy for anybody to come forward and talk about this stuff. So just just be easy on yourself. We can take this slow. You don't have to go too deep if you don't want to.
I have been being attacked and getting stalked,
That's
and
what that's what they do to us.
I feel that my life is in danger right now and has been a lot recently. I'm really happy that I've made it out of Wisconsin, but I'm not far enough away, and I still have connections to way too many things that trouble me.
Indiana isn't a safe place either.
I know, I know. I'm in, been bouncing from one unsafe place to another, and I don't know how I keep surviving. I've been living on the streets on and off, and just in and out of the psych ward, and over getting up the staircase, which I like to call it, and just like really making sense of things that happened to me and my family and people around me and the people in Appleton in the past.
Yeah, there's some
And
weird things that you find out, like stories that you look back and you're like, what the fuck? Like I'll give you an example.
and yes,
Have you ever had anything like this happen to you? Um, Part of my family, one of my aunts during Thanksgiving one time was like, "Do you remember when like the government came to our house and like told us like we couldn't stay here because of like the water or some shit, and they put us hotel rooms and they put you kids in a separate hotel room from us and stuff?" And my cousin was like, "What are you talking about, Mom?" She's like, "That happened. What do you mean? What am I talking about?" Just like weird shit like that. Like,
there's many things, and I think we should actually start on. I The thing that's really interesting is I have not watched any of your videos until this past night.
mhm.
So I'm gonna like probably drop some things on you that like the similarities are too fucking fucked up. I just saw
Yep.
your video about getting hassled by the Appleton Outagamie County,
Hmm.
law. When I moved here, they sent fucking sheriffs to my dad's house. Um, Stevens Point sent Wapaka sheriffs, or like Wapaka County sheriffs, to my father's house looking for me. I hadn't lived there in a while. I'm out of state now. And they were trying to put these stealing from Quick Trip charges on me that I had already paid fines off for and everything.
Hmm.
And they were trying to rope me back to Wisconsin
Of course.
that way. And they're also holding someone very close to me hostage right now, in a way.
They're at the psych
And
ward.
prepared, not anymore. They're back at Edgewood. I'm gonna say Edgewood. It's weird that that street is named Edgewood. The street where the LSS is. Um,
Sorry. It's just like hitting me like a ton of bricks right now. Everything.
you know what I'm saying, though.
Yeah. My last name is Wood. Hollywood. I don't know what's with. There's something there with that. I gotta look into it. But
Isn't your recent? Do you have a current partner or a recent partner,
her name's Catherine.
Catherine?
Hmm.
My partner's sister's name is Catherine and goes by Rin.
Oh wow.
Um, and my partner's stepmom is named Gina. I don't know if that means anything to you, but um, Gina has.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're all
I'm gonna be
good.
I'm gonna
Were
be
you in the
spotty with info at first until I feel
this is your
comfortable.
first time you've ever done an interview like this. Maybe you've done interviews about your music, but this is a whole different thing. It's a lot
I've
harder.
never done anything like this whatsoever.
Um, were you in the talented and gifted program?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's not surprising to me. What elementary school did you go to in Appleton?
Franklin.
Okay. I
And
went
then
to
I
John.
went, where did you go? I'm sorry.
Oh, I went to Johnston.
Went to
It's
Johnston.
Johnston Elementary,
And then
and
I went to Roosevelt Middle School, which had a charter school there, like an art and or a math and science charter school. And then I went to Renaissance School for the Arts at West High School, which
you lucky fucker. I wanted to go to that school so bad.
well, let me tell you, it's
It was
that's
not.
just as
It was a program.
it's just as connected as anything else.
Wasn't that in the Central High School building, the one in downtown?
No, that was in West.
Oh, okay.
It was like
Okay.
half days. I'd have like 10 different art classes, um, like per
So
semester.
here's a comment. You look like brothers.
Yeah, that's
Charna
you've
got out. Hey, my cat got outside. I gotta let her in. Just a second, dude.
yeah.
What the fuck, Charna? How'd you even get out there, dude? Come on, buddy. Come on in. How'd you even get outside? Come on. How'd you even get out there, dude? What the heck? Um, the front door has been blowing open. I'm just gonna go make sure that's not open and that my other cat is in the house. I'll be right back. If you want to keep talking or whatever, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Arkheim and I do look very much alike. Um, it's
Oh,
definitely
they're both
definitely
okay.
not the first time people have commented on that, have they?
Yeah, no, people would always tell me, "Oh, you Eddie Meade." People would be like, "Hey, what's up, Eddie Meade?" I'm like, Eddie Meade's like a foot shorter than me, or like I don't know, you're shorter than, like you're a smaller guy than I am. I'm like, we're two different people.
Yes,
Yeah,
we are
people.
two different people, just good songwriters both.
But by the way, you wrote famous songs at Montauk.
Well, I that's something that right now I have to take your word
Here,
for.
someone's got a question for you. This is a person who I served in Nachtwaffen, which is the German space military. His name's Ashton. They live in Canada. Elmer, Eddie, are you aware of any clones or doppelgangers of yourself out there? You may have one in Canada named Cameron. Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Canada and Wisconsin share a lot of satanic ritual abuse sites and super secret space program asset pools.
Cameron.
I have,
Cameron.
while we're here, I have a female clone living in Texas. Okay. Um, Somebody sent me pictures of her, and I was like, "Do you have their Facebook?" I actually went on her Facebook. So this is me. It's a clone of me. And what was really crazy is I was going through her pictures, and you want to know what I see in her pictures?
Hmm.
You remember Chaz? Well, that's what we called him back in the day in high school. Chaz was in the pictures. I'll use that name because that's not the name they use now, and they're not a public person, so I'm kind of doing that out of respect. Chaz was in the pictures. They hate that name now, but back in the day in high school, that was what everyone called them. But anyway, Chaz
Yep,
was in
yep,
the
yep.
pictures, and my like this guy Tech that I used to hang out with was in the pictures, and so basically she had the same friends as me in some other town in Texas. Like we literally have clones in different area codes, bro. Like, and we're
I,
it's fucking crazy.
the person who I'm very close to, who is in a sense kidnapped right now, is talking about trying to get to a small place in Texas, um, with someone that they know online, and I'm very concerned about that.
Yeah,
Um,
that doesn't sound like it's a safe thing to me.
um, I I just want to like throw out so many random things. Like both siblings of mine and myself share psychiatrists with the Slender Man stabber. Um,
Holy
I,
shit, dude.
I have a family member who was in the asylum at the same time as the Slender Man stabber. Um, I have been almost drowned at the lighthouse at that asylum. I've spent many very beautiful sunrises there too. Um,
But you would go to a lighthouse. Tell me more about. Oh, let me answer this question real quick. It's an uncanny valley thing. Me finding a clone of me, like you might think like I would want to message her, but like everything inside me tells me to fucking not talk to this person. I also had an alter reach out to me and tell me how a clone of myself was in um uh Iowa. Um I've talked about this before. There's a dome in Iowa, and one of my clones was there, and I actually got an exact address, and it was on Belmont, by the way, Belmont Street. There, Belmont is a planet. There's a planet called Belmont, so a lot of Belmont streets and stuff like that, they've got portal destinations and things like that on them. And when you're talking about going to the lighthouse all the time, um, lighthouses have portals underneath them. That there was a lighthouse just outside of Montauk that was intrinsically connected to the project, and there's also uh, just with the lighthouse stuff. There's a movie about Willem Dafoe, and Willem Dafoe is a lighthouse keeper that goes insane,
yes,
and
yes.
Gerard Butler, I think, is also in either that movie. My memory's foggy, but there's a movie just like it that he's in. And Gerard Butler, I was with his clone in Iowa. Like, that's how I found out who Gerard Butler is. One of my alters told me, "Hey, you're in Iowa with Gerard Butler right now." I'm like, "Who's that?" They're like, "Look him up." And it's a famous actor.
Are you talking about Robert Pattinson, who
No,
is the
Gerard
co
Gerard
Gerard
Butler.
Butler from like 300 and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. He's an asset, and I go on missions with him and stuff.
Gotcha.
And then with the thing with Willem Dafoe, it's weird that he was in this lighthouse movie about basically going mad in a lighthouse is um
Well, yeah, we
so
have
in Appleton,
Harry
Harry
Houdini and Willem Dafoe to our fame,
yeah,
among other
I
people.
got I don't know if you've heard this or seen this in my testimony yet, but there's an underground in Appleton, and in fact, the whole world has an underground. But in
I've been in
Appleton,
the sewers and under Appleton, yeah.
yeah, but I'm talking about the white rooms with the people wearing lab coats running around everywhere, and they have the little carts that they ride around in and shit. And it's just like this whole place down there, and they have clones of us down there, dude. Clones of us, all of us, everybody in Appleton. I mean, not everyone, but all the assets that live in Appleton have clone bodies down there. And it's literally like a shopping mall for time agencies, time corporations. They come in and they rent our consciousness and they rent bodies, or they basically treat us like property, like a product. That's what we are to these fucking people, Eddie. And so one of the problems with this underground base is you have a clandestine world where everybody has this chip on their shoulder because they have fucking security clearances and they know all this shit that other people don't know. So everyone's got this chip on their shoulder about that. And guess what? Somebody still has to clean the toilets. Somebody still has to mop and fucking cook the food and all that shit. So they figured out a way around that because what happened at Montauk, we didn't figure this out yet. At Montauk, what would happen is James Rank would come in and tell me, "Hey, you need to fucking clean these rooms and do this and give me all these orders," right? And I would literally crumple up. He'd have like a list for me, and as soon as he'd leave the room, I'd crumple it up and throw it on the fucking floor. And I'd tell other people to do it. I'd be like, "Hey, you just below me, fucking clean these toilets and shit. Do this, do that." And then they'd wait for me to leave. and they'd do the same thing. They'd find somebody below them and be like, I don't want to do this shit. You do it, bitch. Until nothing got done. And Montauk was a grimy, disgusting place because of that. And it barely got cleaned because it was always, there's always like this chain of command bullshit where nobody wanted to do the chores. So well, the thing that they figured out to keep these bases clean and running nice is automaton asset alter programming. And basically an automaton is an asset. It's an alter that you have that just automatically performs tasks and follows orders. They're like a robot. And one time I was down there, I got pulled. I was pulled in through REM sleep, my consciousness, because you got to understand, every clone needs an operating system. Your consciousness is the operating system. So you're experiencing all this, all of it. Every clone, every fucking life you've lived, you're experiencing it. You are not separate from it. And anyway, we're sitting there, we're cleaning some room, one of these white rooms. And dude, I've cleaned up rooms with blood and body parts and shit like that with Willem. But his altar's name is David. And we're cleaning, I'm like mopping the floor or something, and he puts a garbage can on the table which blocks the cameras. And he's going like this to me. Kid, snapping his fingers in my face. Are you fucking in there, kid? And I'm like, yeah. And it's fucking Willem Dafoe, dude, in a white jumpsuit with a fucking like, you know, like with cleaning, like we're janitors, you can see. And he's like, hey, what's the other you doing? Are you still up there, kid? I'm like, what do you mean? The you on the surface. Are you still in Appleton? I'm like, yeah. I was like, totally fucking out of it. But I was like, yeah, I'm still there. He's like, what the fuck are you still doing there, kid? Haven't you figured out that place is built up to keep you down? He's like, if you stay there, they'll fucking kill you. He's like, do you think that I would be a famous actor with millions of dollars had I stayed in Appleton, fucking Wisconsin? He's like, get the fuck out of there, kid, and don't walk, run. He got tortured for telling me that. I got strapped to a chair and had to watch them take out his teeth with a pliers one by one and cut his tongue. Because he told me all that. Because he talked about me, said that shit to me. Sorry.
No. I've spent my entire working life cleaning up after these people in the hospital, in the psych ward that I stay
Were
at.
you also a janitor that worked for like Clean Power and Environmental Control and all those companies, right? That's also
Yes.
connected to the programs. I was being
Yeah.
taken at work. And I started talking about the school that is close to downtown. It was like an elementary school. I talked about it and how I was being taken and how it's connected to this planet called Centurion 5 and all this stuff. And like there's like a Hmong connection to Centurion 5 because it's a jungle planet and all this shit. That school isn't in operation anymore. They closed it down. And I literally think it's because of me talking about it.
Man.
It was scary because like I tried to be like secretive about it, but like they people found it. And so now I'm comfortable talking about it because it's not even open. So basically, I can't remember the name of the school, but they had the koalas. I think it was actually Roosevelt, or something. But
That was middle school, yeah.
well, this one was across the street from a church, but I think it also had like some middle school kids in the upstairs part or something. But they had the koalas, okay? And basically what it was is there's also a talented and gifted type MK Ultra secret space program thing going on where they had the Mars Supials. And I was training the kids and time dilation. So we would take them out and they could be down there for a few days even, and then we could put them right back like they'd only been gone for an hour. And I taught them how to use their abilities, like make telekinesis and things like that, and telepathy and stuff like that. And then they got transferred to Mars when they turned teenagers to learn how to use their abilities in combat. And that's how these programs work. You learn how to use your abilities on Earth, and then they send you to Mars to learn how to fight using your abilities. So you're using like in battle, like I can like choke out people and force fucking throw them around and shit. All that stuff's real, dude. And the waves in the air, the 5G towers, the fluoride in the water. I don't know where he went. The fluoride in the fucking water. All that shit is connected to this. I'm sorry if I'm just like ranting. You good?
Yeah, I'm back.
Sorry, I'm just like unloading a lot of information on you here.
Yeah, we got to go slow. I'm trying to stay in this here and now
Yeah.
because I I am learning a lot about what has happened in my very own 30 years on the earth, and that's where I need to start.
Well, I want to respect that. I'm going to do my best to respect that, but I also want you to understand that the entire way these programs operate is they use time displacement. You can be gone for 20 years and they can put you right back. So I understand the importance of staying grounded in the here and now, but the fact that you are not grounded in the here and now is what these programs are. They are displacing you. So, but anyway, um, what other things have you been realizing? Memories? What other kind of memories, or just strange coincidences, or things that don't add up? Have you been realizing?
Um, there is a lot of sexual trauma in my past and my siblings' past, and some interfamily stuff, and some memories that I'm trying to really slowly take care of with therapy, because I've finally found a therapist who's helping me. Um, and that's one reason why I really need to stay. I'm an
I have a
emotional
therapist. I have a therapist, and I tell her
emotional
about
mess
all this
right
stuff.
now.
Well, I have a therapist, and I tell her about everything: the time travel, the clones, everything, and she believes me. And you can find a therapist like that too. Maybe not in Indiana. You might have to come out
Well,
west or something, but they exist. But I understand that just needed to figure out like the trauma that you have just from the here and now things that you know happened to you. Like, I've been remembering. Have you heard into the Sasha Riley stuff? Have you been hearing about that at all?
I've just started to hear about it in the past few days. Nothing that's been happening has been surprising to me. There's been a lot of stuff coming out about Epstein and Michael Aquino, and
By the way, that's connected. That's all connected to Wisconsin and
I
Aquino.
know,
Yeah, Aquino as
I know.
well. I've been raped by Aquino.
And Appleton has some really deep satanic shit going on down by the river. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of weird things down in the catacombs down by the river.
My friends have walked in on a people sacrificing like a goat by the church. Basically, the fucking building that Corey Jizzle used to own. Fucking Mile
Yes.
Music, fucking cuck.
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Um,
I shovelhead.
that whole thing is a humiliation ritual for us, by the way. Mile Music is literally a humiliation ritual. They don't ever ask us, the people who wrote all the music that everybody grew up to play. Did you ever get asked to play Mile Music? And when I did get asked to play Mile Music, it was literally a humiliation ritual. Nobody
They've
fucking
always
cares. So
they've always shut down me and my friends and let some. I just want to say in Appleton, Wisconsin, a lot of very bad people have really very good lives, and a lot of very good people have very, very, very bad lives.
Apple symbolism is big. Computers, Beatles, Bible, you name it. Well, that's the reason why Apple is called Apple, is because biting from the apple is basically, it's a metaphor for receiving the power of God, the power of creation. And what we're doing right now is we're creating an AI, and that's what that all has to do with. And the computer age is the beginning of the AI. And yeah, Appleton. So ton, to give you some education here, any city with ton at the end of it means that it has an underground. So, and that's why Johnston is called Johnston Elementary. A John is somebody who pays for sex. A ton is an underground, basically, infrastructure where sexual abuse and other things happen. And so they literally named it John's Ton Elementary. How fucked
There
up is
was
that?
there was clubs at West that their thing was about going in the tunnels that connect all the schools under Appleton together. All the schools, all the bomb shelters they made after the war. I would like to say that I have a close family member who saw the first and only shooting of the atomic cannon down in New Mexico in 1950. Gosh, that was either 53, 51, 52, or 53. I have a massive amount of family who's served in just about every war that this country has ever taken part in. I have a lot of connections that don't make sense to me. I have a family bloodline that goes back past 1,000. Um, I it's all on paper, and there's just a lot of things coming together to me at such a speed.
I know, man. It's hard. I can see the stress in your fucking face. It's stressful for me too.
I've had a really tough past couple of months having to realize all this and not know who I can talk to
You can always talk to me, man. I'm here for you now.
because I don't trust anyone. I hardly trust anyone. But I've met some really great people over the past year or two that I feel have really kept me alive when I'm not supposed to be anymore. And that's how I felt for 10 or 20 years now.
You're supposed to be alive. You're supposed to be here. And I do know that this is going
There,
to be, you coming on the show is the beginning of so much shit.
there's
So much is
people.
being exposed right now because of you. Like, people know us. People saw us. They know we grew up together. And I've looked insane. I've looked insane. But the more people like you who are willing to come forward and testify and be like, I grew up there too. That place is fucked up. They did shit to me too. The more people like you, we're exposing these people. These are the most evil, fucked up people to ever exist, like ever. And we have been gifted. You could use other words because it's a fucking burden, but we've been gifted with the burden, the responsibility of exposing these people and these programs and what they're doing and how they're using the school system to fucking funnel in MK Ultra assets and do all this stuff and program people. Enough is enough, man.
I This all started to get very serious very quickly when I started my very first own parapolitics investigation. when I really uncovered something that I knew that nobody else had put together before, that had really wide ranging connections over many years across the country, that involves trafficking of very many kinds, and just learning the past couple years about North Fox Island,
Mm-hmm.
reading books like Eye of the Chicken Hawk, um, reading things by Whitney Webb, reading things, listening to things by Subliminal Jihad, a lot of different podcasts, Return of the Repressed. I'm not gonna sit here and fucking list off every goddamn podcast I listen to, because I'm a crazy person and I listen to a lot of stuff that has helped me find the books that I need to read, because I think that's very important. Is not to just listen to these people who are coming out with things at opportune time, shit coding a lot of shit. But there's some gems out there that have really helped me through, that I personally know in person. And there's some people that I've met over the past year or two that I really want to thank, just for opening my eyes to things, because it has helped me keep one step ahead of a lot of bad shit that I can't fully explain, but some of you may know. Some of you may know from, like, just having met me over the past year or two and hearing me really go off and rant and ramble, because I just don't care anymore. And it feels really good, but it feels really scary. And I'm being attacked in a lot of different ways because of these things that I have been hardly saying out loud at all. I've forgotten that I have a voice.
Well, you do
I
have a
spent
voice, and there's 48 people listening to you right now, and my videos usually get like around 1,000 views or more after a while. So, and this is just the beginning. 2028 is going to be a crazy year for us and disclosure. For now, we just got to bide our time and keep on speaking the truth and fight like hell. Because right
I
now
just
they're doing some fucked up shit with ICE and all that shit. Like they're trafficking. They're trafficking. They're making cyborgs. They're disappearing people and turning them into cyborgs and all this stuff. And but anyway, you
well,
said
it's
be
just
grounded in
it,
reality. Sorry, I'm going a little bit too deep
it's
here.
no, but the thing is, it's shameless now. It is shameless now, and that's why programming is starting to break so far and wide with so many people, is because, like, very powerful people are dying. Very powerful people who were had main parts in this have been dying recently over the
Mm-hmm.
past few
Like
years.
James Rink. James Rink died. Renetta
James
Jones
Ring,
died.
Dick Cheney,
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, James Rink,
Rumsfeld.
I mean,
I
in a good
mean,
way,
like,
was a good person. But yeah, I get what you're saying now. You're talking about all like the fucked up.
no, there's good and bad people who are gone, and I don't know if those bad people are really gone, but the good people are really gone.
I just want
And
to say something real quick because I live in Minnesota and the shit here going on here is ridiculous, so much deeper than it seems. Okay, like I want people to understand, like there are sick people out there that get off on terrorizing people, and right now the government is hiring them. This is all a snuff ritual. This whole thing. This is all sexual. They get off on terrorizing these people. They get off on tearing families apart, and there are snuff films being filmed right now. Okay, they found a loophole. They're not allowed to keep these kids longer than 20 days in detention centers, so they're keeping them in hotels. That is a fucking fact. Right now, our government is keeping children in hotels away from their parents, separate from their parents, and ICE agents that barely pass a fucking background check are the people Terrible fucking things are happening right now. Terrible, terrible, terrible things are happening, and they get the fuck off. They're getting off on it. It's an out in the open snuff ritual.
And I'm seeing a lot of brave people in Minnesota right now, um, banding together, and taking part in mutual aid, which is one of the only things we really have anymore, to help each other. And that's the same thing that you and I are trying to do here for each other and for anybody who might be listening, is just you need someone to have open arms for you, whether you're struggling with these things materially or what feels like it's all in your head. But I'm having a hard time because I've been being targeted a lot recently, and I'm just very scared about where I am right now and what to reveal. And like the way my body feels as I say certain things, I'm definitely like on the brink of some very tough states of mind. And I have a lot of rooms in my mind that I've built to try to escape from.
Yeah, there's a maze. They put a maze in all of our minds. And you have DID. You have dissociative identity disorder, and you have alters. And you
I've
probably should. You should probably figure that out with your therapist and talk to them about it, because that is a fact. You have DID. Every single person that survived Montauk has it.
well, I know that I do, and I have my my family does. People in my family do who are also going through these things, and I'm much more scared for than myself. One family member, I am much more scared for them than myself because I am about a decade older than them. I've fucking lived on the streets before in winter and in spring and in summer, and I've I've almost died many many times, and I've they're not ready for that yet, and they are really right now in the hands of the worst possible people imaginable. With They have no shame left. They have no shame left because everybody knows what is happening to children across the world. And everybody knows. And they're I don't know what we can do about it anymore other than talk about it.
Oh, it's
Even if
gonna.
we even if we sound really crazy, once you start hearing people that you haven't spoken to in very many years say things that trigger the most intense feelings and revelations and memories that you've ever felt in your life. It's a lot, and I'm fucking working through it, man. uh,
You're
uh,
very brave for coming forward and talking about this.
uh, I've pushed away a lot of people already from just being fucking crazy, you know? I get just a bit too fucking just not meant for this place, this world. I've never felt like it. I really felt like I was dropped at a racetrack and the gun went off and I had no fucking choice. And I just had to start sprinting and sprinting and sprinting and sprinting, and that's all I've been doing. And like the only reason I'm here is to reveal as much as I can through music and writing and art and like making other people smile and spreading love before something happens to me, because I've always felt that just like I've always felt like I'm not going to be here long, and every year is another very big surprise. And the ways that I'm finding ways to survive, every year it's a bigger surprise. How something just barely sweeps me through.
I think you should come
And
out. I think you should come out west, dude. I know it's like hard to do, but I
it's
haven't ever
easier
felt
said than done.
it
I
is.
have no money at all.
Well,
I
there's a lot of people out there in this world who care about us super soldier survivors, and they've helped me. There's been a lot of people who fucking helped me, Eddie, financially, tangibly. Some of them were bad people. I'll admit that there are bad people who tried to use their money to control me.
A lot of people have too, and I don't have a lot of trust right now, and that's why like I'm just trying to release music and use my Patreon because I'm trying to record
Yeah,
an
let
entire
me let me.
album.
What is your Patreon? I gotta put your fucking link up here for people to join your Patreon. Man, sorry that I didn't do that.
No, it's okay. I've just been releasing music for many years that tries to cryptically, so I don't get hurt too too much, cryptically say what's been going on to me. And
Susan,
it's
Susan, this is somebody that you know. This is someone
and
that you know very well.
and
Love to you too, Susan. Susan was there for us, and she was there for me, and she was probably there for you at Montauk. She would help us. She would sing "Somewhere Over the Rainbow" to us, and she would hide messages in it because the fucking Sia car don't speak English. So she
I'm
would give
very
us instructions on how to survive.
I'm
We're
very
both
very
very in debt to this person.
I'm very hesitant about that name.
About what name?
Susan. We might have to, but uh hi. Where were we?
Sorry about
Fucking
that. I
music. No,
just
no, it's okay. It's okay. I'm one paranoid motherfucker. Um,
That's okay, man.
um, and I have reason to be. Um, because I know certain things. That people are still getting away with right now. And I know powerful people, and I have no sense of OPSEC whatsoever because I'm just a struggling musician trying to get by. And like, what am I gonna do? Fucking hide behind a mask and a fucking like sunglasses and a hat and a hood, and like I can't. I just want to be myself and be safe and like sing these songs, man.
I know. We're literally in the same exact fucking place. I've just been aware a bit longer than you, but you know, we wrote some of these famous songs that shape the world that we live in, and do we get any money for it? Do we get any fucking credit? And we're not even allowed to survive off our own music in our regular lives. Like, Like when I was finally living off of music, I crashed my van. I don't know if you remember that. And not only that, this is so fucked up, Eddie. Me crashing my van in one of those in Sherwood, Wisconsin, which every time I drove through there, I knew something fucked up happened to me. Like I was just there.
Sure would.
Yeah, every time I would drive through, I just knew I was like something really fucked up happened to me when I was a kid. I just knew it. And then I crashed my car there, and dude, I literally had a conversation with on the phone with my mom earlier that day. I'm I'm like, Mom, I figured it out. I live in my fucking van. I take showers at the fucking gym. I play shows. I find weird little cities and weird little events to busk at and stuff. I had this like app on my phone where I would like uh take pictures of like landscaping jobs to report to the people that would hire landscapers. Like just it was like I was like the person that would take pictures and like it would show like that they're doing their jobs or they're not or whatever basically. So I just had like a way to travel around and make money like between music and this weird landscaping photography thing I was doing. And I remember having a conversation with my mom like, hey, I figured it out. I'm living off of my music. I'm meeting people. And then I crashed my van in Sherwood, Wisconsin, and my whole fucking life fell apart. And I got memories back, everything that happened to me because I crashed my van there. It made me have to look at what happened to me. It made me have, because, when I crashed my van, initially I was like, oh, this sucks. And, obviously you just got to think about what, like, the next moment and, like, what you're going to do next. But after the dust settled, I was like, wait a minute. Is it a coincidence that I crashed my car in this weird place that I always feel all fucked up about when I drive through? You know what I mean?
Sherwood is a scary place, and I have had some scary experiences there.
What happened to
I
you? If you don't mind
Sherwood,
talking about it.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has happened to me over by High Cliff. There's a lot of stuff that has happened to me um down by Peabody River.
Which, like I
There's
said before, that place that Corey Chisel owned, my friends walked in on people sacrificing a fucking goat, all wearing robes and shit, one time down there. And this was when it was apparently still a church. And
the fucking monks that have the keys to that place are some weird motherfuckers. I know someone on Twitter who is very into Wisconsin. I listen and read a lot about burial mounds, things like that. Wisconsin is a very rich place with rich history, good and bad. A lot of evil in the land here.
oh yeah,
Latent.
yeah.
Latent in the land. Do you remember
I'm sorry I'm
do you have
rocking so much. I just am so fucking nervous. I can't help it.
no. Do you ever remember like getting a bit out of your head and ending up in the Peabody Forest in the middle of the night trying to dig up the catacombs?
I don't remember that, but I believe it happened to you.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time. I spent the majority of my teenage years down by those rivers, sitting in the grottos where Biggie Rat used to do his weird shit back in the 70s. The area's first goth. There's
Who,
some pretty
who's
interesting
Biggie Rat? Who's that?
there's some interesting post-Crescent articles about him. He is like this spooky kid from around town who is known as like the area's first Satanist from like
Okay.
the late 60s,
Uh,
early 70s.
Willem Dafoe interviewed him using the school camera at Appleton East. He interviewed that guy.
Biggie Rat, really?
Pretty sure, yeah. He interviewed. I remember specifically, like, this is literally like town lore, um,
Mhm.
Appleton lore. He used the school camera to interview a Satanist, which this was like the 70s or whatever, or 80s or
Yeah.
whatever. So people were way more weird about that shit back then. Maybe rightfully so. Fuck Satanism. Um,
There
but
was a news article that just shut it down without. This was right around the time as the Satanic Panic stuff, and when like Franklin scandal shit was going down in Omaha, and
mhm.
like Michael Aquino and Presido, and like this is all around the same time period as Montauk and that kind of shit. Um, Appleton was a real hopping place for that kind of stuff, and trafficking of drugs, especially heroin. Um, and
Then why was it so hard to find a bag of weed when I was a teenager? God damn it!
yeah, I know.
That shit sucked.
Um, and don't get me started on the Appleton Police Department,
Yeah,
please.
they're fucked.
I don't know if anybody who's listening was listening earlier when we were talking about our legal troubles that are just spot on with each other. After moving out of Wisconsin, finally, they went back years and found like little petty things and tried to drag us back for that. Right
Yep.
around the same time. Peeing on McCarthy's grave? Yes, have done so.
It's a rite of passage for every single Wisconsin, like Appletonian that fucking hates Nazis.
Yep. Oh man. Felt good pissing on that one.
Because weed is a deprogrammer. Yeah, all the other drugs are really easy to find, and there's alcohol in every fucking corner store and every gas station you can imagine, which I would end up doing. I'd
The
end up just
Tavern
drinking
League,
all the
man.
time. Yeah, the Tavern League, dude.
That's how they almost brought me back to Wisconsin in the past year was there's a time I relapsed and I stole $12 worth of alcohol from Quick Trip, and I paid like a $250 fine for it, and
Mm.
then I moved away, and then they're
And
like,
then they're like, "Oh, you didn't pay this."
you didn't pay this, or what they did was come after me under a different statute. Um, they were just like going through their old records, just like when you moved away. It was like, oh, time to sling some shit at this kid.
Yeah. Well, my advice to you is to just do not go back. Stay out of there. I go to Appleton to visit my family, and I'm very careful every time I'm there. I'm aware that they will want to legally trap me there if they can. So I just am really careful when I'm there, and just keep my head low, and I just hang out with my family, and I honestly don't even leave my parents' house and stuff very much. I just try to just, but I mean, I love my family. That was one of the hardest things, and that's one of the biggest ways they try to control me. Is like I love my family so much, dude, because we've been through hell and back. We were all at Montauk. My mom, my dad, my brother. Um, and we have you seen the Appleton? Have you seen the Inside Job Appleton episode yet?
I was gonna bring like that up to you among other things. Just these recent like been a lot of like pop culture references to Appleton starting to come out and like stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Appleton
That
being recognized.
that to me, I mean, I've been talking about Appleton having an underground and what happened to me since before that episode came out. So that to me was the Illuminati literally saying, "Yep, Arkheim's telling the truth. If you're fucking smart enough to connect the dots, you fucking goyim, fucking figure it out."
I've
But
had some very sketchy people lead me down through those tunnels, and man, it's just been really tough the past year or so because I don't remember a large chunk of my childhood.
that's very normal for people in these programs.
Like a a huge amount of it, and every time I've uncovered any little thing over the past year or two, it's just like ripped me in two. I don't know. They can't fucking keep tossing me into the hospital anymore, and they haven't been able to like get me on these psychiatric drugs that they want to fucking get me on. I have done a really good job of like being my own psychiatrist, and I have a psychiatrist right now who's giving me what I need and not what has made me forget so many times. The amount of times I've been through detox and psych ward stays and have been put on the same drugs that were used to program me, the same drugs that were used to put me under when I was sexually abused. I over the past few years, that's what's really done it, is through my time being homeless in Appleton, they were really trying to fucking get me during those times, and
I can't
that is
imagine being homeless in fucking Appleton.
that is when Lindsay revealed to me that she had done things to me and apologized for them, which uh
She said some weird stuff to me about stuff that happened to her too.
I yeah, I feel really bad for what she's gone through. She also put me through some really rough shit that really opened all of this up for me. I had memories of sexual trauma from when I was a younger child, but I did not realize that even there were times when I was just barely an adult, like 18, 19, where I was drugged and sexually abused. There's been time.
Were you ever brought to any of the farm parties? Yeah. That's where the
Yes,
Sasha Riley shit comes through for me, and that's why I brought it up before. So that's how I know he's telling the truth. I was, I may have said stuff about it publicly, but I don't think I did. I've been talking to my mom about it. I've been talking to Kat about it. My grandpa would bring me to the farm parties, and he would do they would slaughter animals in front of us and make us slaughter animals, and I don't want to remember any of it, but I got flashbacks of it. It's bad. And then Mackinac Island. Did your family ever visit Mackinac Island? That looks like a yes. That's a huge, because think about it, okay, there's no cars allowed there. There's like one cop on the whole fucking island, and the only way in and out of the island is a fucking ferry. Like, think about that for a minute.
I've been on the ferry quite a few times and gone over to little weird places over in Michigan on the shore of Lake Michigan on the other side of Lake Michigan. And with shit I've been learning, I also want to recommend to you a really cool noise artist that I'm friends with, whose project is called North Fox Island.
Oh
Um,
shit.
and North Fox Island has been in the news related to Epstein
Mm-hmm.
recently, as an island in the north of Lake Michigan, where Trump allegedly has watched children drown, thrown them off the boat into Lake Michigan. I don't know if you remember seeing that in the files. Uh, there's just so much, man. I don't know. Uh,
um,
I would be interested in explaining a little bit about an investigation I am doing, which is kind of how I got into which is really how I started figuring all of this out. That'd be cool. Would
Yeah,
you like to talk
totally.
for a little bit while I like look up some stuff?
Would I like to what?
Just talk a little bit.
All right. So Eddie Meade is a musician. Um, what is your Patreon, Eddie?
It's
.com slash.
patreon.com/C/Elmer Music.
All right, I'm gonna.
Um, and I posted a new song just a little bit ago that is just about done, and I posted a screenshot of the lyrics I've written for it, and it's about some of the deprogramming I've done on myself lately, and some of the gang stalking I've been experiencing, and things like that. And maybe I've always felt that like I can say more with my lyrics, even if they're very cryptic. I feel like the people who it's important for me to reach know what I'm singing.
Well, I mean,
Um,
if I don't know if you pay attention to like the world of music at all, but they're showing everybody all the time with these songs what's going on in these programs, like all the fucking time. Like they're literally showing you, like like Dream Police by fucking Cheap Trick. That song's real. Like it's about real stuff. There's so much stuff. Like watch the music video M83, Midnight City. Like it shows like the kids learning how to use telepathy and stuff, and then breaking out of the underground and running around the city, and the cops are chasing them, trying to get them and stuff. Like they show everybody in the music, and they think they're stupid. They think that people are stupid for not understanding that they're literally fucking showing them reality. They think that they're complicit in this. But it's like they're desensitizing people to reality. That's what they're really doing.
well, I've always thought my music is doing the same thing, just maybe in a different way. Um, I'm trying to sing some really uncomfortable shit. Um,
Anyway, sorry, you were like, "Hey, talk," because I need
no,
to
no,
find things, and then I started asking you questions. But I just wanted to be able to put your music up while and tell people
yeah,
that.
thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I did just put out a song that, like, um, we could like go over the lyrics, or like 3 a.m. a drill through the wall reaches my neck, makes small impressions in my skull. I practice sleep paralysis, whispers from the ether, either hell or the hall, thrumming in my ears. I'm frightened to blinding tears, shaking, heart quaking. They told me too much truth, and the pain from my youth remains. Have I outlived usefulness yet? Am I quickening my death or rambling my way into a longer life sentence? 3 a.m., voices in the wall, a hole in my head. Blah! Built so many rooms in my mind, but in them all I find are bare corners, bright and ugly, thoughts echoing, chambers made for protecting memories from faceless enemies, crawl spaces wait behind doors, long lost by keys I have misplaced. The knowledge that can ever The knowledge that nothing can ever really be replaced, which I once hunted, haunts me now. Hey, I know 3 a.m. is like the witching hour and everything. Anything ever happen to you at 3 a.m.?
All the time.
That's when
The other
everything.
the other night the other night Beelzebub actually came to me in my head. The Beelzebub, at 3 a.m. in the morning or whatever, and Beelzebub told me. So during Montauk, sorry, this is gonna get really deep in the weeds. I served Baphomet, um, and I was a warrior for Satan, and I was one of 12 high priests of Satan around the world. with Beelzebub being the leader of the order, obviously. And Beelzebub is like a 10 foot, 12 foot, I don't know. They're bigger than a human. Tall, red being. They got red skin and they got like the goat like legs and shit. Kind of some goat like features and stuff. They got the black curling horns that come out of their head. And he basically told me that he doesn't like that I'm not serving him anymore, and that he threatened me. He said that I have 3 days to rejoin the order of Satan and reclaim my role as a high priest of Satan, or he's gonna track me down and kill me. That's what he told me. So literally within the past few days, I've had weird shit happen to me at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I haven't been able to sleep at night. I don't sleep. I have insomnia. I usually go to bed at 7 in the morning and sleep from 7 to like around 11. So that means I get like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I get like 4 hours of sleep every night now.
Those are the safest times to sleep right
Yeah,
now. That's kind of what I've been doing. I can't be asleep those hours from around 2:30 to 5 or 6 at
yeah.
least.
I don't feel safe sleeping then either anymore.
And the cats know something is up with me around that time, and like that's around the time that my body starts to shake and I feel electricity coming
There's a,
through the
there's a
wall.
Here's a question for you, Eddie. Do you have any memories in regard to KMFDM, particularly Raymond Watts? Raymond was up there. Full name equivalent: Kazarian Mafia Foundation, Deuce Mechanica. KMFDM is a drug against war. Full.
KMFDM, the like music group,
Yeah.
um, it's very interesting they're brought up because my sister is very into them.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm
Um,
not sure what that question was trying to get at you. That was kind of a weird
I,
question. But
I, I,
Ashton knows a lot. They're getting at something.
I like their music, um, from what I've heard of it. I've recently discovered noise music has been really helpful in getting me to reach some dissociative states that I have within me. Um, I've just been doing a lot of disassociating on purpose over the past 6 months or so, and that is what has really got me into doing this. Is I've begun disassociating around the same time that I started reading about all the things that we're talking about, MK, all, or I mean, I've known about MK Ultra for years, but more specifically, Project Monarch and Montauk. Once I started reading about that, like things just began like linking up in my head every single day, coincidences upon coincidences and synchronicities upon synchronicities, and I started kind of reading about how they would program me, and I would use those tactics on myself to reach those places. Reach those places that I remember horrible, horrible things happening in. And I hope I'm making some sense.
No,
Yeah.
I remember doing horrible things to you. We tied you to an electric fence. And we beat you and spit on you and fucking electrocuted you and shit. Me and Danny. I hazed you. And I'm sure Christy Campbell will probably remember that you were one of the 7 kids that would make you guys make me dinner. You'd make me steak and French fries and like a Coca Cola Don't drink Pepsi. I would freak out if you guys tried to give me a Pepsi, dude. Like, dude, I was an asshole, man. It's in Christy Campbell's book. She talks about how one time I dropped the straw and I just like freaked out on them. I was like, where the fuck is the straw and all this shit? And I just threw my fucking food across the room and then just left them there in that room. And they just had no idea when I was gonna come back. And they're just like these like just kids all chained together in this room. I was a child when I was brought into Montauk and they programmed me into being a monster. I'm not that person. I don't like hurting children. I don't like screaming at people. I don't like treating people like dirt. That's not me. And I might not remember who I was, but I know who the fuck I am. Remember that, Eddie. You might not remember who you are, but you know who the fuck. You might not remember what happened to you or who you were, but you know who you are now. So when you get memories back that are terrible of you doing terrible things, that's the hard part. You think remembering being raped is being bad? Wait till you remember doing that shit to other people and enjoying it. That's even fucking worse. That's even worse. It's even worse to remember that shit. That's the hard part. But I know that wasn't me. I was programmed. They treated my brain like a fucking computer and programmed it into being something that it's not. They made me into something that I'm not. And they got the fuck off on it. They thought it was so great. Because I am of the light. I'm Ra. I am literally a sun being. Like, I give off love and light and positive energy. So, of course, these satanic freaks got off on inverting that and making me a part of the darkness. That's what they do.
They corrupt everyone.
You're gonna be at the Montauk ceremony, Eddie. You gotta stay alive. We're gonna get our tribunal, and we're all gonna get our recognition for the songs we wrote. And I don't know if I've told you this, but I haven't told you this. I've seen the future. I've seen lots of different futures, and in one of the futures, a potential future, there's a tribunal that happens in 2028. It starts happening in 2028 and it drags on for a long time into like 2032 or 2033 or something. It goes on for fucking ever. But basically the whole fucking shebang just cracks the fuck open in 2028 and their files start getting unsealed and stuff. One of the things that happens in some timelines is hackers find a bunch of files on assets, like the Gary McKinnon thing. We have files that exist on the CIA's version of the internet. I'm pretty sure that shit gets leaked, and then that's all. That's how a lot of this starts. But I'm not sure. It happens different in sometimes timelines. But basically, what happens is there are people that release information that it's no one can look away from it, and there are tribunals, and we have to testify against ourselves in court, which is really fucked up. We got to admit the things that we did, and then basically like it's just crazy time. But we're gonna after these tribunals, we plant a rose garden at Montauk by the Montauk Manor over there, the hotel, and we turn the hotel into a museum. And Brian Minnick gives tours of Montauk for a living. Brian Minnick is the Montauk is Strange guy. He's been blowing because he grew up in that area, so he's been blowing the lid on Montauk for like 20 years now. And he's worked with the History Channel and shit. So like they're really legit person, and they're my friend, and they're gonna end up doing tours, and we're gonna have this rose garden, and we're gonna honor the memory of all these thousands of children that died. And this is like the beginning of that. Like you coming on this show and talking about like this is fucking crazy, dude. Like how the fuck can people deny this shit's real? Like after this show, like I know there are people that see my content and probably think like, have I lost my shit? You know, like people that we grew up with, But like I think it's gonna really fucking surprise some people and open their fucking eyes. The fact that I had Eddy Meade on my fucking show, like, that's huge to me. Like, and thank you for giving that to me because I've been wanting to do this. They've killed people, dude. My friend Eric Top started getting memories back, and they killed him. The last
Look,
message he sent me on Facebook was messages about how Johnson Elementary was laid out and stuff. He was remembering things, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he basically dies of an aneurysm.
they've killed a lot of people, a lot of talented people, a lot of really loving people in Appleton over very many years.
Yeah, Seth, my friend Seth, who they commit suicide, but that was because of the trauma they feel from being a time soldier and not understanding it. I've lost friends too. There's a lot of dead.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bodies on this journey that we've taken. There's a lot of fucking dead bodies and a lot of dead friends.
And, I know that I've hurt people in my life too. I'm not perfect. I've gone through a lot of pain and addiction and mental illness, and I haven't always been the healthiest person to be around.
Me too.
I have always been the healthiest person, but I've never, never, ever, ever, ever wanted to hurt anybody. I just want to stop bad things from happening to people. And that's the only reason that I keep waking up and like subjecting myself to memories and to looking into these kinds of things. Like I know that I could probably live more comfortably and not fear for my life if I just put it aside for another year or another 10 years or
It
another.
doesn't. You can't do it anymore, man.
And it's been so painful that it I don't know. I'm having a really hard time right now. I've definitely been dealing with some DEWs
Some directed energy weapons.
in the apartments around me, being from the buildings around my building, and it's really it's just taking a toll on me right now, especially because I've had to try to find a place in this apartment to sit where I can do this. And there's no safe place to do this right now.
I see where I'm at. Portland is. I mean, there's fucked up shit going on here. Um, like Voodoo Donuts and the Kit Kat Club, and there's definitely a congregation of Satanists that live in the city that are active and they're doing fucked up shit. But there's also like a lot of really, really good people here and a lot of really beautiful, positive energy. And I kind of think you should come to Portland, dude. I think you should figure out a way out here, man. I'll help you. I'll help you figure it out. But you deserve to be safe. You deserve to be somewhere where you won't feel like you're being attacked and being targeted. And I know, like I said, I know Portland's not perfect, and there's really nowhere on earth that's safe. Let's be real, but
I
it's
gotta
definitely a
get
lot
out
safe. It's definitely a
of.
lot safer than Wisconsin. I can tell you that much.
Well, I don't really want to go back there anymore.
You shouldn't. You
I don't.
should. I highly
I
recommend.
don't. I
Move
don't really
further
want to
away from
be.
Wisconsin. Not.
I don't. Yeah, I don't really want to be here either.
Do you mind if I ask
Um,
where you're at? Where are you in Indiana? If you don't want to, if you're not comfortable divulging, that's okay.
yeah, I'm in Indianapolis.
Okay. Yeah, that's not. I'm pretty sure that's just like
Indiana's a sus fucking place.
it is. It's very much so like Wisconsin. I've spent a halfway decent amount of time there. I've played shows there and stuff. I've never really spent time in Indianapolis though. South Bend was the spot that I spent the most time in, actually, which is like
It's not.
right across the border from Michigan.
It's not a very friendly city. Um, and it's I don't know. Oh man, I'm getting so tired.
That's all right, man. We've done a pretty good job at we can start wrapping it up if you want, unless there's more
I
you want to talk about.
I want to do a talk where I have things a little more together because I have like some actual files about some people that could use some airing, but I'm just like so drained of energy from this. I didn't sleep at all so I could remain in this state of mind.
Okay, I know. Yeah. All right.
Um,
Well, let me just say some Wisconsin stuff while we're here, because this is, people are going to come to this interview. They're going to see the Appleton thing, and that's what this interview is for, sort
yeah,
of, is to
I'll
air out stuff.
chime in anything I can think of because
Okay,
I,
okay. So, have you heard of the Lifeboat Foundation?
yes.
So, basically, the Lifeboat Foundation, for people who are unaware, well, I'll go to their website real quick. Um, okay, so present, share screen, allow, share entire screen, and then here it is. There's their website. Okay, the Well Aging Economic Forum. Stay up to date with latest news about safeguarding humanity. Mission statement: the Lifeboat Foundation is a non-profit, non-governmental organization dedicated to ensuring scientific advancements. I'm not even gonna read this shit. They build giant underground cities. All right, guys. The website's a little bit different than they changed it last time I was on it. They had like a video showing a giant underground city. It was CGI. They're not going to actually show you it. But basically, so right now, the Epstein files, there's a lot of pictures in the Epstein files that are completely blacked out, and all they have is this little symbol right here, the Lifeboat Foundation symbol.
Hmm.
Yep. And also, another weird thing that I noticed about this whole Lifeboat Foundation thing is SpongeBob SquarePants on his ID, his address is in Bikini Bottom, and also the basically symbol for SpongeBob SquarePants, the sigil for SpongeBob SquarePants is a lifeboat buoy thing, like one
Hmm.
of those tubes. And so I believe that's all very heavy duty connected. I'm guessing Stephen Hillstrom, the guy who made SpongeBob SquarePants, is probably a pedophile. It just really sucks because I love SpongeBob SquarePants. I hope I'm wrong. Like maybe he was just trying to, maybe he just knew some shit and was trying to expose it. And he was great. I hope that's the truth because I love SpongeBob. I grew up on SpongeBob, and I still think it's a great cartoon. So it sucked to find out that guy is one of the club, so to speak. But Nickelodeon, they call it Nickelodeon because that's what theaters are called in the alternate reality with the Zeppelins. Um, there's an alternate reality which is intrinsically connected to ours. We're 1138 B and they're 1138 A. So we're like, and eventually, very very far in the future, our realities could potentially merge again and stuff. It's all really complicated. But this Lifeboat Foundation stuff, I gotta get back to that because it's very grounded in reality. So I went on archive.org because I watched a YouTuber who said that they remember finding on archive.org the former board of directors of the Lifeboat Foundation, and Jeffrey Epstein was literally on the board of directors of the Lifeboat Foundation. And we all know that on Epstein Island there was this giant underground fucking structure with human cloning and all this weird shit going on. And same thing with that with the Zorro Ranch in Nevada. All sorts of weird stuff going on there, and a giant underground city. And he's like impregnating 20 women at once, and just all this weird stuff. Well, anyway, I started looking into the Lifeboat Foundation and going on archive.org, and I think I actually have this in a folder. Let me look real quick. I think some of this is in a folder. Maybe. I think I accidentally deleted this stuff. Well, I'll refind it again. But basically, I looked up the board of directors for the. Okay, so I was on the archive.org website. And this is something that's interesting about the Lifeboat Foundation is that in 1996, they openly advertised on their website that they're one of only 2 organizations on the planet Earth that was capable of doing untraceable, anonymous, international wiring of money in large, extremely large sums. And so they literally advertised that, and everybody, even back then, they had the snuff film shit that you could stream onto your computer at home and watch and pay. And well, basically, dude, it gets crazy. In 1996 or something, or no, it was 2006 maybe actually. Whatever. It doesn't really matter the time. The entire Lifeboat Foundation was stationed in Rhinelander, Wisconsin, and it pretended to be a homeless outreach. It pretended to be a separate thing. But I found stuff about the homeless outreach stuff that they do on the lifeboat.com website, the same website. It's the same organization. So what the fuck is an organization that does international wire transfers in large amounts, that builds giant underground cities? What the fuck are they doing running a homeless outreach program? For the youth, by the way. Youth homeless outreach. In Rhinelander, Wisconsin, it's the most fucking random place to do it ever. Like, so it's just like, I've got a lot of questions about all that. I turned your microphone back on. Sorry, it's kind of noisy where you're at.
No, it is very noisy, and I'm not appreciating what's going on over here. On my side, I'm not talking about anything to do with you.
I'm grabbing my water real quick. I'm listening to you.
I'm trying to find a short explanation of shit.
Oh yeah, the reason why I brought up the alternate reality, I remember that now. It's called Nickelodeon, and they have the Zeppelin because a lot of those child stars were stars in the other alternate reality, and they want people to know that. Like, for instance, like Amanda Bynes was, I think her name was Lucille something or whatever. I don't remember her name, but in the other timeline, she was a famous vaudeville comedian. And in this timeline, she didn't exist, but they pulled her from that reality and made her a child star in this one, 100 years after her time, because she was like early 1900s. So, and that's why, like, Daniel Peck, or no, Brian Peck, excuse me. So this is some crazy shit. He was pen pals with John Wayne Gacy. Do you know that? He had he had a John Wayne Gacy painting hanging up in his home, and he would have kids at his house for stuff, and he would literally show off the John Wayne Gacy painting. And John Wayne Gacy was part of the court of Royal Jesters. And the Court of Royal Jesters is a Masonic group, an offshoot of the Masons, that they're basically homosexual pedophiles that do the thing to kids. And John Wayne Gacy had a thing in Chicago called the Ripper Crew. and he was part
Yep.
of a organization. Did not act alone, and it's connected to the Finders. It's
Yep.
connected to Presidio. It's
Yep.
connected to all that shit, dude.
Yep. We're on the same page, buddy.
Yeah.
So, can I like disclose some information? The investigation I'm doing that has put me in some
That's what you're here
danger.
for. That's what you're here for, man.
Okay, and um so I was having a manic episode a couple months ago and like developed this conspiracy that DXM, dextromethorphan, cough syrup, is being used to monarch the population by disassociating them. It is now like um, being sold as a recreational drug, as an antidepressant, as a cough syrup. DXM is everywhere. It has been since MK Pilot. It was developed in MK Pilot by the CIA in the Navy in the 50s, offshoot of MK Ultra. There is a company that whose DXM product is recreational, very obviously sold to teens, with butterfly marketing and just this like beach bash marketing and like Halloween, get your like chug your cough syrup for Halloween marketing and like stuff like this. And they started releasing DXM tablets, a complete game changer for recreational use that is being abused by kids all over the country.
I can
Kids
only
are
ima- I can only imagine.
dissociating, and they've also started selling DPH, diphenhydramine, Benadryl, which is a deliriant. Um, and that will send you into a psychotic state. It's classified as a deliriant substance. You'll go into something akin to psychosis or a schizophrenic state from taking too much of that. Similar things with DXM from the disassociation. Um, Disassociation used in trauma-based mind control, and DXM was one of the main drugs that was used on me, to put me in dissociative states and abuse me sexually and otherwise. Um, and as I'm explaining that, I'm starting to have a lot of memories coming back to me that I'm gonna have to like kind of like keep to the side right now as I try to keep going.
No, I remember.
Um,
I remember. I had friends that always try to get me to do that shit, and I was always just like, "Dude, it's lame. I don't want to do that."
it's helped me a lot and it's hurt me a lot. It hurt me first and it's helped me and it's hurt me and it's helped me and it's hurt me. Like everything. Um, um, okay. So I was in a manic episode and I developed this whole thing like because the person in my life who is kind of being held hostage by the government, um, because they have also been put through these programming rituals and stuff like that. They completely blasted their brain with this DXM and DPH, and they've tried to pin them with terrorist threat charges multiple times since they were a child, for going into DID states and threatening violence when they're not allowed weapons. They're not allowed a gun. They're like a perfectly sweet young woman who just goes into an altered state and gets very aggressive. But anyways, I blah 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 blah. Um, I s- I was totally just like, man, it'd be crazy if DXM had something to do with this Project Monarch I've been reading all about, and then I discovered that it was an MK pilot drug. And then let me finally click my fucking second thing here. Now they're advertising this shit to teens and young adults in tablet form. Um, and it's had multiple manufacturers over the years, including a pharmaceutical company that was busted in a decade-long counterfeit cough syrup trafficking conspiracy. This pharma company was also being investigated for trafficking millions of opioid pills, but that has not been resolved, and this company went down instead for the cough syrup conspiracy. And I'm going to get back to that company in a minute. Because there's multiple companies here. Another manufacturer received warnings from the FDA for serious violations of good manufacturing practices. They ended up going bankrupt and being bought by a subsidiary of a major pharma company, along with the facilities, equipment, and most of the employees being retained. The major pharma company gets 75% of its revenue from the DoD for making them a fentanyl analog 10 times stronger that is used in their modern day combat medic kits. Back to the other manufacturer. The owner of that one has been wrapped up in other big drug conspiracies over the decades. He ran an investment group too. His father ran a major pharma company and shared offices with his pharma company that was doing the shady business. His dad had like the legit pharma company. I'm not saying company names right now because I'm trying to like retain some privacy about this. The owner of this company involved in this cough syrup trafficking conspiracy ran an investment group. He's been getting off scot-free on all these drug trafficking conspiracies. Like he was trafficking cough syrup into like the Houston rap scene and up into Wisconsin.
Yeah, purple drain.
Yep. And this was going out through all of the 2010s. And in the 2000s, this guy was
The young lean era. Young lean literally named himself after fucking DXM.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a Monarch asset, by the way.
Yeah. And this company is doing just fine, even though, like, you know, the FDA has given its manufacturers major warnings, and like another manufacturer of this drug for this company is like been taken down in a cough syrup trafficking conspiracy that they were busted for instead of the opioid trafficking conspiracy that is arguably where they're getting all the funding from the DoD from, millions and millions of dollars. This is why I want to do a Patreon live stream with you when I can get like my files situated more and stuff, and we can actually like sit down. I have all of this documents and like stuff, and I've started filing FOIA requests. And
Wow.
once I started doing that shit, that was when all of a sudden shit started getting really heavy, really fast. And I started realizing that like I shouldn't be talking about these things necessarily, or I should be talking about these things, or like You know, I don't know. I don't know what's better for my safety right now, but I've the people who I've told about this stuff in detail and revealed these company names to and stuff, they've told me to like keep my head down and be safe, and I haven't done a very good job at that. But what the fuck can I do? I'm just trying to like release music as well and like make a living because I have no income at all other than like trying to write music about like these really fucked up events in my life and trying to sing for people because I'm scared I'm not going to live very much longer. And it's one thing I wanted to come on here and say is I am scared of that sometimes. And like if I go anywhere, please just listen to the music that I have released, and I hope someone gets their hands on my journals and stuff and can publish them instead of burn them. And I know
Well,
that
I hope that
sounds
you live a long life, and I hope that you get to be at the tribunals with me.
I know it sounds dramatic, and
No, it's not. But
I'm being very vague because this is I'm I'm not a very trusting person right now. Um, to come on here and do this is maybe the biggest step I've ever taken about I don't know, I've been suffering alone with this for a very long time, and it's just really painful. I know you know.
yeah. Well, that's a lot of information that you just gave. Thanks. Well, like you said, we'll have to do maybe a more detailed, in depth.
Yeah, I want to come back and like have files in order and I can really lay out a story. And like this has been like I think we've both just felt an urgency to get talking to each other and doing it live and out in the open just because we have some worries on both our ends about like what's going on with us, you know? I don't know
Uh,
how safe you feel.
I feel safer being public than I would if I wasn't public. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I do in some ways, and I feel very scared that I'm gonna be thrown back in the hospital or something.
No, like, why would you be? You're fucking a survivor. This really happened to you. You're not crazy. Fuck these people. Fuck them so hard, dude. You're not gonna get thrown in the mental institution again, and that's why you should get out of that the Midwest. Because over there, you talking about the shit. It's like way more. People understand it way better out here, dude. They just do. The West Coast is like full of witches and warlocks and extremely spiritual people, and the Midwest is full of people who get drunk and eat cheeseburgers. They're not spiritual at fucking all. They're the least spiritual people you could ever surround yourself with. So that's why I feel like people out here understand it all better. You know?
There's been some, I think the good people in my life have always been trying to drag me out that way towards the coast. Um, and I never left Wisconsin until like a year ago. I lived in Wisconsin for my entire life. It's all I know, really. So it's really weird being gone from Wisconsin. And I really don't think that I would be alive right now if I hadn't gotten out of Wisconsin. I really don't think I would have been able to come to terms with anything like this if I was still in Wisconsin, because they are doing everything they can to cover up what remains of like the sketchy things that have happened in these cities that they've just used as playgrounds. You know?
I'm trying to make it so I can play your song, but the computer's being stupid about it.
That's okay. I mean,
Or wave to MP3. I should be able to play it at the end of the show.
that would be great. I would just really hope people can appreciate my music. I am trying to write an album all about this stuff because it's the only way I know how to get this out in a way that I feel most comfortable. Talking straight up isn't always the best way for me. Um, I've always dealt with the trauma I've experienced, especially the sexual trauma, through the music that I write. Um, and it's not an easy thing to sing about, so you try to find some pretty words to use
Yeah.
to obfuscate things, to shield things a little bit. Um, I'm very cryptic when it comes to this stuff. I'm just very scared right now, to be honest.
Well, we have to, work together and like help validate each other's stories and the fact that this is real, or it's just gonna keep fucking happening. And we don't want
Yeah,
that.
and this is the first time I've ever appeared live on the stream at all, talking about anything, even like music or anything. So this is very awkward for me, and I'm like running on no sleep, and like I am well researched and a well read person, and like have a lot of things to say that just aren't coming to my lips right now because this is all very new and fresh. And also I'm just trying to like I'm really trying to keep it together. This entire time I've been on like the verge of sobbing, and like so I'm just trying to keep myself from shaking, and I'm trying to breathe, and it's
You've done a really good job. You're being hard on yourself. It's okay, dude. I think it is
because
about time to wrap things up, though.
yeah. It's
I can't figure out how to play your music. It needs to be an MP. Oh wait, hold on. I think I got it. I'll be able to play your music at the end here. Just 1 second. Um,
if anybody who like has listened to this, who listens to your stuff, like doesn't think I'm a crackpot weirdo, and like
you're on my YouTube channel right now, so
yeah,
that
I
makes me
mean,
weirdo.
just like if you'd give me a chance to speak more and more at length and come back when I have my shit a little bit more together,
Yeah,
and
please come
kind of
back.
kind of I'm documenting all of this on my Patreon as well. I'm documenting it on my social media. Um, I'm trying to be public about these things now at this point because I don't. There's no going back. There's no going
Yeah,
back
no,
anymore.
that's the hard part is there's no going back, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah, there's no going back. There's only going forward and trying to figure out the way to get my truth across. And I'm working on it, everybody. I'm working on it.
Well, tell people where to find you and all that.
Well, you can find me at Eddy Meade on Twitter, EDYMEADAY. Oh gosh, man. Can I I don't know how I have a link tree, which is probably the best way to. Can I send you my link tree and
Yeah,
then
but
you can
just put it in the comments.
Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of a Luddite. I'm technologically challenged and don't know how to do many of these things
It's okay.
that seem like they should be simple. Oh man, there's been comments going on this entire time that I could have been looking at, but uh, I'm already so easily distracted. I really appreciate everybody tuning in and listening. And I'm very scared, shaky person right now, and I'm not always this way. I am sometimes better with my words and can.
Oh, he'll be back, you guys. I'm pretty sure it just dropped out. Well, that may or may not be the end of the interview. I don't know. He did a great job. He's been hard on himself. I'm gonna play his music now. This is his song. So that was Eddie's music, you guys. Check out the fucking Patreon. And just I love you, buddy. Thanks for coming on the show. I'm gonna end things now. Is that good?
I love all of you. I didn't realize I was still here.
Yeah, you're still here.
Yeah, I wasn't able to
you-
post
you-
any links in the chat, but I sent them to you. And I just want to give my love to everybody who is posting. I wish I would have been able to respond to comments as I was talking, but I didn't even realize they were on, really.
You need to
I
get
love,
some sleep, man. It's all good. You stayed up all
yeah,
night.
I love you, and I love everybody out there, and I hope we can talk soon.
We will. We'll keep in touch, man. We got to be there for each other. All right.
Absolutely.
All right, man. You have a good one. Thanks for coming on the show.
You too. Bye.
Bye, everyone.